and welcome to this YouTube channel initiated by Gnanmanjari Modern Skills Seeker. As you know that we are discussing unit number 8, that is constitutional and its important features. And in this video we will discuss the two pillars of preamble. This previous videos we have discussed that one preamble, that is democracy, and second preamble is socialistic. Third is secularism. So the points of socialistic preamble I have written here. Let's see what is this socialistic. I am on page number 59. Please keep this book with you while you watch this video at that time. That will be easy for you to understand this civic unit. In the year 1976, by 42nd Indian Constitution Amendment, Constitution of India added in the 42nd Amendment the word socialist. So this word socialist was added in 1976 by 42nd Indian Constitutional Amendment. Most of the provisions in the Constitution of India directly or indirectly show social revolution, which brought social and economical equality and furthered the aim of welfare state. So most important thing, the most purpose of this, purpose for behind the adding this word is to show the social revolution, and it is the aim of social welfare. Means the center of this, centrally the socialistic preamble, centrally it is welfare state. The principle of socialistic pattern directs social, economical and political equality for citizens as given in the preamble. So as per a preamble, this socialistic is in this it is respect that the principle of socialistic, the main principle is to direct social, economic and political equality among the citizens. It is now regarded as a prime feature of the state, and this equality is must for any state or for any country. So it is the prime, we can say it is a prime feature of any state. It reflects the fact that India is committed to secure social, economic and political justice for all its people. And to this, in this preamble, we can say that the socialistic means India is committed to each and every people of its country for its social, economical and political justice. Means each and every people should get equal political justice regardless of its caste, creed, language, religion and other things. India stands for abolishing all forms of exploitation as well as for securing equitable distribution of income, resources and wealth. And most importantly, here in this preamble, the written documents shows that India stands for abolishing all the barriers, all the issues related to all this issue related to society, and India stands for that equality, securing equitable justice or equitable, or it means equal distribution of income, resources and wealth. Any one particular person should not have power over all asset. Instead, everyone should have equal opportunity by getting facilities and provisions from society, and thereby eliminating the discrimination of rich and poor. According to this, in India, not a single person is there, who should not have any single right over the asset or property of the country. Means equal opportunity should be given to the people for using all the assets or all the property of the country, and the difference between rich and poor should be eliminated. Therefore, we can say that Constitution of India is a socialistic document, and that's why we can consider this Constitution of India as a socialistic document. So what we have learned in this socialistic preamble, second pillar of this. So it is, we can say that social revolution, and the main prime purpose of this is social and economical equality. Means there should not be any kind of inequality among people of the country regardless of its caste, creed, religion, language and the way he or she lives life. The aim of welfare state means the prime aim of this is to welfare state security of the people is the most important thing for this constitution of India, securing equitable distribution of income, resources and welfare. So the most important thing that is given in this is, and India stands for, that equitable distribution of income, resources and wealth. Means each and every people of the country should be given equal importance for their field, for their work. One person should not have power to use the Indian property, that country's property or country's asset. Means those property and those all the things, all the rules are for all the people of the country. Equal opportunity should be had to use that thing, and social. That's why this Constitution of India is called socialistic document. So this is socialistic, second pillars of preamble. Please student note down this new the keywords. Now the third point is secularism. So what is secularism? What is the importance of it in Indian Constitution? Let's see. In the year 1976, by 42nd Indian Constitution Amendment, the word secular was inserted. So this word was inserted in the year of 1976 by 42nd Indian Constitution Amendment. India is a secular country, that we all know. India can never become one particular religious country as per the provisions of the Constitution. So India is the secular country, and it can never become a one religious country, one religion country as per the provision of the Constitution. Means secularism means, what is secular country? Means here we can follow our own religion. You can follow Islam religion, you can follow Hindu religion, you can follow Jainism, or you can follow Buddhism. So this way India is being known as a secular country, and it can never become that one religion country as per the Constitution. India does not follow any particular religion, so the country never promotes any religious activity. So in this country we can see that we have that unity among diversity. Means you can't see any particular religion that all the people of the nation is following. No, we have many different kinds of religious people. If you see around yourself, that you will find the different kinds of religious people. Means there is not any Hindu religion in India, there is no only Muslim religion in India, there is no any Bodh religion in India. You will find, or you can see, the different colors of religion in India, and that's why it is known as that secular country. And India does not follow any particular religion, so the country never promotes any religious activity. So any particular activity will not be promoted in India. Means we have that Ganpati celebration, as well as we have that Mohram, we have that Navratri. On the other hand, we have celebration of Eid. Or in one hand we have the celebration of Christmas, on the other hand we have the celebration of Diwali. So you will find the different kinds of religious festivals celebrated in India. So there is no any particular region in which you can see in India being celebrated. The country cannot involve compulsory that you have to follow the Hindu religion in the country, or there is no any rule that you have to follow the Islam religion in the country. You are allowed to choose your own religion. You are allowed to choose your favorite religion or the religion which you doesn't belong. Means if you are Hindu, then you are allowed to believe in Islam religion too. And if any Islam person or that person belongs to Islam religion has that freedom to follow the Hindu religion, has that choice to believe in Hindu religion. So there is no any restriction for the citizen of the India to follow any particular religion. The country cannot discriminate a citizen on the religious basis. Equal job opportunities and political rights to the citizens are given without any religious discrimination. So there is no any rule, no any regime in the country that only Hindu people can get this job, only Muslim people can get this job. No, equal opportunities are there for all the people of the India, regardless of their caste, regardless of their religion. Equal job opportunities and political rights. Not only job opportunity, but political rights are also allocated for all the people of the country following different rules. Are given without any religious discrimination. In this way, secularism is the basic foundation and mandatory feature of the constitution. And this way we can say that it is very important, very basic and mandatory feature of the constitution of India. You might have heard about the Sarva Dharma Sambhav. Sarva Dharma Samdrishti and Sarva Dharma Sambhav are the principles incorporated in the constitution. So no particular region would be encouraged in any state. Not only in Gujarat, or we are not talking about the Maharashtra, Rajasthan and all, but there is not any single state in which only particular religion is celebrated. No, you will find different kind of people following different religion in different states. You will find many Muslim following Islam religion in Gujarat, and along with that many Buddhist religious people, many Hindu religious people, many Christian religious people you can find in Gujarat state as well as in other state. There is no prohibition on any citizen to propagate his or her religious belief, trust and faith, and there is no any restriction for any citizen to for the following of the religious belief, trust and faith. Means you are, suppose you are Christian, and if you are interested in Hinduism, and if you are interested in Hindu mythologies and all the Hindu those books, Ramayana, Mahabharata and all, so there is no restriction for you to follow or to believe in Hindu religion, though you are Christian. So that kind of flexibility you can find in India, and that is just because of the constitution of our India, and that's why India is known as secular country. So it is very important, of these preambles are very important. Now I am going to write the keyword for this secularism, and we can say in year 1976. India can never be a particular religious country. Country cannot involve any secular activity with religious activity. or her religion. Equal job, political rights. सर्वधर्म समदृष्टि, or we can say सर्वधर्म समभाव. So this is secularism. Please note down this keyword, students. Okay, student, these are the three preambles of Indian Constitution, that is democracy, socialistic, and lastly it is secularism. Moving to another topic of today is basic features of the Constitution. And what are the basic features of Constitution? Let's see. The Constitution, which came into force on 26 January 1950, is considered as the largest extensive and detailed written document. As you know that our Constitution is a written document and which came into force in 26 January 1950. And given below is the basic and silent features of it. So what are the silent and the basic features of our Indian Constitution that are given below? So first among them is written document. So first is written document. Okay. Except Britain and Israel, India along with other nations of the world have their constitution in written form. As you all know that our constitution is in written form. So except India, Britain and Israel also have their constitution in written form. Considering the social, geographical diversity, circumstances and prehistorical notions, the Constituent Assembly has kept the drafted constitution in written form. So this Constituent Assembly has kept this constitution in written form, and considering the social, geographical, diversified circumstances and prehistoric notions. So based on this, they just have kept this and in written form. So this is written document, and the keyword for this is except Britain and Israel, means except these two countries. India along with other analysis and prehistoric notion. Based on this Constituent Assembly has kept Constitution in written form. This is written document. Let's see second feature of our Constitution, that is size of the Constitution. First you note down this student, after that we will go for the size of Constitution. See, it is very easy. Except Britain and Israel, all the countries of the nation, all the countries of the world have that written document of Constitution. It has their Constitution written, social, geographical, diversified circumstances and prehistoric notion. Based on this assembly has kept this Constitution in written form. Please note down this. Second is size of Constitution. Size of the Constitution. Okay, let's see. Indian Constitution is divided in 22 sections comprising 395 articles and 8 appendix, now 12. So, it is the size of our Constitution that it is divided into 22 sections, and in that 22 sections we have 395 articles and 8 appendix, and now that 8 appendix is become 12 now. The Constitution comprises provisions for state administration and states interrelation. So in that Constitution, what is there? So it is comprises provisions of rules for state administration and states interrelations, fundamental rights, principles for political policies, judiciary, election commission, government institution, minorities, scheduled caste and deprived groups. So these all are there in Indian Constitution, and the rules and the regime for this whole field is there in Indian Constitution. Therefore, our Constitution of India is the largest, extensive and detailed written document compared to other constitution, and that's why this Indian Constitution is known as the largest, extensive and detailed written document compared to other constitution. Very easy topic this is, student. Basic feature. First we have discussed that is written document. Second, it is size of the Constitution. So we can say divided into 22 sections, 395 articles and 8 appendices. That is, now it is 12. So what are the rules for this Constitution? Comprises for state administration and state relation, judiciary, election commission and etc. Largest, extensive and detailed document. That's why it is being considered as the largest, extensive and detailed document, because it comprises many the topic of the country. So please write down the student size of the constitution. Okay students, still there are 2 to 3 topics or 2 to 3 features of Indian this constitution has to be remained. So now we should stop here. This is for today's student. Now it's time to give you homework, and your today's homework is socialistic secularism and 2 features of constitution. Write about socialistic, secularism and features of the constitution. Those 2 features means written document and size of the constitution. So this you have in your homework. We will meet again in next video, and in next video we will discuss the other features of the constitution and other parts of the unit. Please take care of yourself. Take care. Bye.